Hi, I'm Diane Sayre. I'm a LaRouche Democrat running for Congress in the state of New Jersey. And yesterday, Lyndon LaRouche had a discussion with his associates, which unfortunately turned out to be prophetic right here in the City Hall of Paterson, New Jersey.
Now, anyone who has any toleration for this president of the United States must take into account that the policies of this president of the United States are based on a commitment to genocide, that is, to bring down the world's population to less than 1 billion people as fast as possible. This is the policy. We are now running a campaign to bring forth from the bottom, not from popularity, but from a lack of popularity. And we have some idiots who are trying to present the impression that the Glass-Steagall vote is in as a popular measure. That is a lie. It is not true. There's a potentiality, yes, but it will become a popular measure only if we make it so. And it will become a popular measure when you tell people that the issue is the president has advisors who dictated to him policies of genocide. That anybody who says that we're off the top in talking about the president's failings is off the top, or they're out under the bottom. They're an idiot. They're in fact a liar unless they can prove mental ill health.
What occurred is that there was a gigantic brawl in the city council over the question of Lyndon LaRouche, Barack Obama, and the Glass-Steagall resolution. And I should say for the record that the city of Paterson has been faced with a shortfall of $77 million in a budget of $184 million. So that what they did was to raise property taxes by 29%, and then having done that, still had to fire 1/4 of the city's employees, including 125 police officers. About a month ago, we got a report that 6 houses had burned down in 1 week, largely because people could not pay their mortgages and pay the property taxes. And last night in the city council meeting, the president of the council reported coming upon a home that was engulfed in flames. No one was present. He called 911 and inadvertently gave the wrong intersection because the street signs have all been taken down, presumably for scrap metal. And it turns out that vacant homes are being vandalized and looted just to get every bit of plumbing, copper wiring out of these homes so that hoodlums and people desperate for cash can sell them on the hyperinflated commodities markets. So I and associates repeatedly had visited this council, urging them to join with us in getting FDR's 1933 Glass-Steagall Act through the Congress. And finally, after 5 months, a bill was introduced, a resolution, I should say, and the resolution was vetted in the council workshop. It was on the agenda last night, and it was on what was called the consent agenda, which meant that it would just be passed as a matter of routine along with about 25 other items. So I and Scott Easton, a native resident of Paterson, put our names on the list to testify. I spoke first, and I said that I was glad the city was going to go ahead and do this, that there is a total brawl occurring right now in the U.S. Congress. We do have an actual bill, Marcy Kaptur's H.R. 1489, to reenact Glass-Steagall, and we have about 6 co-sponsors, including herself, that I know of to date. Basically, Glass-Steagall is the first step toward addressing every single thing that's been brought up by anyone at this meeting. The issue that we're facing is no city or state has any money, and we are spending money in the trillions on these bailouts of toxic paper. And we have to restore the United States to a credit system. So I appreciate that this is being done. I would urge that the council get the resolution to every single member of the Congress in New Jersey. We don't have any New Jersey congressmen signed on yet. I think Pasquarello would be inclined to, because he tried to get some money in the budget for the firefighters, and Obama gave it away to the Republicans. At any rate, no sooner had I finished speaking, and one of the council members said, Ms. Sayre, I have to ask, what group are you with? What party are you with? Could you tell me what is your position? Where do you stand on the Obama administration? And I said, the Obama administration is catastrophic.
Can I ask a question to the young lady about the Glass-Steagall? Excuse me, ma'am. I have a question in reference to the Glass-Steagall. I know it's on the consent agenda.
Yes.
You just made a comment about President Barack Obama giving money to the Republicans. Now, what is the name of your party? It's the...
I'm a Democrat. I'm with LaRouche.
LaRouche. Would the LaRouche party in opposition to the Barack Obama administration?
What?
What's your position with the President administration, the President of the United States? Yes.
It's a catastrophe.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Mr. President, I'm just asking that this be removed from the consent agenda and put on record.
Sure, I can do that when we get there.
And then he turned to the council and said, I cannot go up against President Obama. It's my understanding that Obama would not support Glass-Steagall, and this woman clearly does not support Obama, so therefore this should not be passed as a matter of course. The hearing then proceeded, and the resolution came up for discussion. He reiterated his argument.
My sentiments are, the same. I don't have so much a problem with the law in particular, but I do have a problem with supporting a resolution that's supported by people that don't support the President of the United States. I find that a problem that, and I'm having a difficult time separating the two, that I'm going to support a resolution that has been provided and presented to us by a group that does not support our President Barack Obama. My vote is yes.
Now, you have to think of the absurdity of this. The city of Paterson, which was formerly the industrial scientific jewel of Alexander Hamilton, is looking more like a Bruegel painting. It's disintegrating. The crime is exploding. People are leaving in droves. And this council member wants to defend the perpetrator of the insanity being foisted upon the city and gives that reason as to why Glass-Steagall, the only remedy, should not be passed. But it gets worse, because the councilman, who actually was courageous and wise enough to introduce Glass-Steagall, then felt obligated to tell the council that actually Obama had indeed signed on to Glass-Steagall. Now that I found quite interesting.
So he signed it, but hasn't gone to Congress?
No, he signed into law the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, which is basically the Glass-Steagall and Dodd-Frank Act.
So it's a Dodd-Frank, okay, that piece of legislation, not the actual Glass-Steagall, but Dodd-Frank, which is another piece of legislation that was passed.
It's the Glass-Steagall and Dodd-Frank Act.
Well, if it's already been passed, why are they fighting to pass it again? Controversy?
Well, that caused the legitimate question to come up as to if Obama had already signed it, why was there any debate? At which point the councilman then had to say, well, actually, the Dodd-Frank bill is not really Glass-Steagall. And he went through a fairly eloquent briefing about, the fact that the repeal of Glass-Steagall did in large part create the crisis that we are now seeing. But the question to be asked is, why would this councilman not say to his colleague, look, you stupid idiot, the city is disintegrating. We're finished. How many people of Paterson will be allowed to die before you are prepared to take a stand in their behalf? You don't think Obama wants to kill you? Well, look at the Midwest. Look at the floods. Look at the Mississippi. 220 plus counties have been declared a disaster area. There are no federal funds forthcoming. If they do give money, the states are required to give at least 25% of that. You think Louisiana has money to pay for their own relief after Katrina and the British petroleum oil spill? Obama is intent on murdering the population. Well, the councilman didn't say that, needless to say. He felt obligated to pretend that Obama was supporting Glass-Steagall in order to smooth things over with the other councilmen in the hope that somehow he might sneak it through. Now, you might be smugly saying to yourself, well, what a coward. I would never do such a thing as pretend that Obama was supporting Glass-Steagall. Well, let me ask you, have you in the last 24 or 48 hours been willing to sleep on the couch, get locked out of your house, or bear other kinds of discomfort as a price to be paid for confronting your loved ones on their own stupidity?